I am so glad Donald Trump is in office for a second term. Let me tell you, I just missed all the protests, all the rioting, all the civil unrest. That was so fun, right? The first time around. So welcome to have it back, because under Sleepy Joe, we just weren't getting that. We weren't having the riots and the protests and the violence and the chaos and the division. We actually had a functioning democracy that passed more legislation than anybody since FDR. But no, this is what we were after. The high drama, the riot gear, the National Guard in the streets. This is what you all wanted back in your lives? Oh, but you say, yeah, but I wanted cheaper eggs and I wanted cheaper gas. Well, you didn't get that. Eggs are still really expensive. Gas is still really expensive. Turns out Donald Trump doesn't really control the price of your eggs or your gas. Okay? So now what do you have? You have chaos, you have turmoil, you have division, you have National Guards on the street, and you're still paying through the nose for your eggs and for your groceries. Way to go. And not only that, you might get the big beautiful bill, which is going to give the ultra super rich a massive tax cut. And oh, by the way, Donald Trump has tripled his own personal wealth through his phony meme stocks and bitcoins. You wanted a huckster. You wanted a fraudster, a con man back in your lives. I mean, is this like you want your toxic ex back in your life? It makes no sense. Damn.
Things are getting really fucked up, you guys. Trump and the Trump administration just announced that they are occupying Los Angeles for the next 30 days. That ICE and the National Guard are going to be occupying Los Angeles for 30 fucking days. State rights my ass. The Trump administration has also threatened Governor Gavin Newsom with arrest if he interferes with ICE activities, as well as Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. All of these are impeachable offenses, if you're wondering. And here's what's going to happen next. Newsom is either going to do the right thing and interfere and get arrested and become a political prisoner of his own country, or we are going to have a 30-day reign of terror in the city of Los Angeles. And I need you guys to understand, the photos that are coming out online are really bad, but these protests are tiny. They are sending in thousands of National Guard troops and thousands of more ICE officials and police, riot police, over tiny protests, random, popcorn protests around the city. This is not a massive thing. People are not out on the streets. This is an attempt to overthrow the governor of California, overthrow the government of California. This is war on California. If you guys don't know what happened in Los Angeles in the year 1992, I need you to go back and look up the Rodney King riots, because I fear that what is about to happen may be even bigger than what happened in 1992. This is a act of terror on our city. And as someone who is literally moving on Friday, this is fucking terrifying. We are in full-blown martial law. This is what martial law is. This is so beyond un-American. We are in the full-blown fucking stage of fascism, you guys. So Governor Newsom absolutely should interfere and get arrested. And in fact, I think the more California state officials that get involved and get arrested, we need to stand up to this. We cannot fucking bend the knee, because this is just the beginning. I know this feels really drastic, but I promise you things are going to continue to get so much worse if we do not stand up to this. Because right now, Trump has completely unchecked power. And the one thing that we know that unchecked power does to a piece of shit narcissist's brain, it does not stop. They get drunk on it and they continue to act and escalate and put people in danger. So I'll keep you guys updated. Super excited to move on Friday. And can't wait to see what it's like driving a moving van through Hollywood.
Los Angeles is in chaos right now, and it's not random, it's coordinated. ICE raids, lockdowns, arrests, schools disrupted. This is what escalation looks like. And if you think this won't reach your neighborhood, think again. Here's what we know. Over the last week, ICE launched aggressive raids across LA. At least 118 people detained, 44 in a single day. And it's not just homes or job sites. They've shown up at courthouses, in neighborhoods, outside of elementary schools, at restaurants. 2 schools were holding graduation ceremonies when ICE arrived. Others, they went on lockdown, not because of a threat, not because of an active shooter, but because of federal agents. This isn't just enforcement, it's psychological warfare. And many of the people taken, well, they did everything the right way, the legal way. They had lawyers, they filed paperwork, they followed the rules, and still, they were taken. So no, this was never about legality, about doing it the right way. It's been about control, it's been about fear, and LA saw it for what it was. The protests, they came fast at the courthouse, fashion district, federal buildings. Hundreds showed up, loud, urgent, and unapologetic. Then ICE escalated again, showing up in Paramount the very next day. And the people resisted. Fireworks, tear gas, pepper spray, arrests. So what did the government do? Well, Trump posted radical left protests will not be tolerated. Then he deployed 2,000 National Guard troops without the state's request that are set to get there later today. And Pete Hegseth threatened Marines. Marines against civilians, you guys. While that happens, moms are being dragged from their kids. Children's zip-tied in courthouses. There's a high school junior on his way to school being detained. A girl going to university detained. A woman who has been missing for 3 months found by her husband in an ICE detention center in Arizona. This is not law and order. This is trauma. This is punishment, and it's growing. Their numbers are to get 3,000 individuals a day. But here's the truth. We're not all meant to move the same way, but we are meant to move. You might write. You might go knock on doors. You might volunteer. You might go tell your story or teach someone the history that has been erased from our schools. Every single role matters, and what matters most is that we stay conscious of how we show up and what we do to show up. The world wants to harden us, but I choose to stay soft. I choose to help connect the dots, to tell stories, because stories build movements, because stories reveal the truth. It's easy to point fingers and critique how others resist, but change doesn't come from one person or from commentary. It comes from contribution. So show up your way, with your gifts, with your grief, with your voice. We need all of it. Collectively, we stay awake. Let's stay grounded. And remember, change does not come from just one person. It comes from all of us. We are the algorithm. Our voice matters. We have power. Share it, save it, say it.
Everyone should be talking about what's happening in Los Angeles. On June 6th, raids by ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, resulted in protests. And on June 7th, Donald Trump ordered 2,000 National Guard troops into Los Angeles, defying the state's governor, Gavin Newsom. The President of the United States sent the military in to crush protests, which are a right that are enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. Sending the military to deal with protests is not normal. Separating families is not normal. Terrorizing communities is not normal. Since the weekend, protests in LA have escalated further, as Angelenos have stood in solidarity to protect their neighbors, and as LAPD officers deployed both pepper spray and tear gas into crowds. There are multiple accounts, including on video, of journalists who are covering the protests being attacked by police officers, including in one case, a journalist being shot by a rubber bullet. In response to these ICE raids and the response to the protests in LA, protests have spread to other cities within California and across the United States. Here in San Francisco, ICE are showing up at court appointments and arresting both adults and even young children. That has happened on June 5th, and it happened again just this morning. And just yesterday, my friend who lives in Austin happened upon a peaceful protest downtown in which she personally witnessed Austin police deploy tear gas against peaceful protesters for no reason. These scenes of protest being met by state repression and police violence are being played out around the country. In New York, in Chicago, in Dallas, in Atlanta. This is what state-sanctioned violence looks like. This is how a police state operates. And it is unacceptable. This is not how a democratic state functions. This is how a fascist and authoritarian state functions. And that fascism and authoritarianism is coming for our neighbors right now in this moment. And we need to stand with them. Because if we don't, it will be sure to come for each and every one of us next. Now is not the time to be silent or to sit this one out. It's time to show up in the streets and fight for our rights and the rights of our neighbors.
Unless you guys are living under a rock, you guys already know what's going on in LA with the ICE raids and everything else. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings out there, and trust me, this is from someone that came from an immigrant family, a Mexican immigrant family, right? So I feel I have a unique perspective because I worked at ICE detention facilities for over 8 years, because I was, law enforcement with the U.S. Marshals, so I got to see a little bit of what happened in the background. Got a lot of friends also that are ICE agents, right? That are ERO ICE agents, Enforcement Removal Operation ICE agents. What I can tell you is this: these agents are out there doing their job, okay? Whether you agree with it or not, whether you agree with the laws, with the immigration laws of this country or not, they're laws. These federal agents, these ICE agent, ERO, fucking HSI, Marshals, whoever, DEA, all the FBI, everyone's out there helping the Department of Homeland Security right now. These guys are doing their job, right? They're enforcing the laws that certain politicians, certain sanctuary cities, sanctuary states in our case, failed to enforce. They failed to enforce these laws, and they got out of control, and now this is what's happening. I'm sure some of those people are hardworking people, that I understand they have families, they have kids, people of good, people that mean well. But if they're here in the country illegally, it's illegal. It's in the word, right? And before I hear anyone say anything about me being a hypocrite because I'm Mexican, right? Let me remind everyone that my family came here the legal way. My grandparents, which were fucking busted their ass working in the fields, picking crops, came here the legal way. It's hard for me to understand how people can be so outraged when they're held accountable, right? They're being arrested, they're being deported because they're here illegally, because they overstayed their visas or they came here into the country illegally, and they're still fucking getting mad. And then what's up with everyone? All the fucking everything that's going on the freeways. I saw some videos with the highway patrol vehicles getting smashed with rocks, people throwing shit at ICE agents. I saw a U.S. Marshals bus getting fucking blocked, getting attacked. What's the deal with that? Everyone's waving their Mexican flag. Everyone's so outraged, right? Not understanding that they're impeding the fucking traffic. They're impeding the freeway. People are going to work. People, are going to the hospital, to fucking doctor's appointments. Women are on their way to the fucking hospital to give birth. People are on fucking ambulances with a heart attack, and you guys are blocking the fucking road. That's not protesting. That is not fucking protesting. Blocking the road and interrupting everyone else's fucking life is not protesting. And it's fucking shitty because all I see, the majority of the flags that I see being flown are Mexican flags. And it's fucked up and it's shitty because I don't associate with myself with fucking lawlessness. But anyway, you got the LA mayor, you have the Governor Newsom, saying that it's Trump's fault, that it's ICE agents' fault, as if these people weren't here illegally in the country. It's almost like we've dealt with it for so long, and it's been part of our culture, and it's been, especially here in California, right? Sanctuary, and fucking New York and other shithole places like that that have sanctuary states and cities. But it's almost like we've lived like this for so long that it's become normal. That now when people are fucking, now when there's a government that's trying to enforce laws, rules, and regulations and holding people accountable, now it's outrageous. Separating families. People talk about it like it's something out of this world. Like if I get arrested, I'm not going to get separated from my family, right? If I go rob a fucking bank, I don't think people are going to be saying, oh, pobrecito Angel, he got separated from his family. Nope. Guess what? You broke the law. You get fucking arrested. You get separated from your family. You came in here to the country illegally. You broke the law. Your ass is going to get deported, separated from your family. Why is it hard for people to understand that there's consequences to the shit that we do? Like, I get it. It's fucking shitty. But hey, it's a risk that you're willing to take, obviously. And then when you get caught up, how can you get upset? How can we possibly get upset if you know these are the consequences? And then these people are throwing things at the fucking federal agents, at the law enforcement, at the cops. They're throwing rocks. What's going to happen when one of these fucking guys is able to articulate that they feared for their life and they fucking shoot someone? Then what's going to happen? Imagine the fucking chaos then, the outrage then, right? I could already see it. ICE agent shoots unarmed man in a peaceful protest. I could already fucking see it. I could already see it. And it's a matter of time till it happens. What do you think is going to happen when you have fucking people throwing fireworks, throwing rocks, throwing all kinds of shit to fucking to these federal rangers? What do you think they're going to do? These people have families as well. What do you think is going to happen? I hope this video opens people's eyes. I understand that we're not all going to agree. It's a very touchy subject. I understand that. But I hope that you sit back and think about it. This is not an answer. This violence shit is not going to work. It's not an answer. You're not going to win. The federal agents are enforcing laws. It's not like they're doing shit that's illegal. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, and then here's another thing. And then people are fucking and looting, breaking shit, lighting vehicles on fire, breaking into fucking stores, stealing shit. Really? Fucking up the whole city. You have people fucking up the whole city, right? In protest. You guys are fucking up your own city. Your own city. You guys are screwing over your own business owners, your own community. I hope everyone takes a chill pill. I hope people start opening their eyes and start understanding that when you fuck up, you're going to be held accountable. You know, I understand it. It's shitty. I understand that not everyone's a criminal, but you also need to understand that immigration is a law. And that if you're here in the country illegally, you broke the law. It's a crime. I hope everyone's all right. Please be safe out there. Law enforcement guys, you know, I'm with you. Watch your back out there. I know I have a lot of ICE agent friends. Please be careful out there. I hope things don't snowball out of control more than they already did, because I could see I could see things getting a lot worse. I could see people losing their lives. I've seen some of these videos. I'm telling you, I've seen some of these videos where law enforcement is showing a lot of restraint. I'm telling you guys right now, coming from law enforcement experience, these officers are showing a lot of restraint. Don't abuse it. Don't take their kindness for weakness. I'm telling you right now. If this continues, God forbid, we're going to be watching someone fucking deaths in the news. Some of these protesters are doing things that authorizes lethal force from these federal agents. So keep that in mind. Don't do anything stupid. I don't know. Maybe you guys should be waving the American flag if you want to fucking stay here. And here's another thing. I've never seen that energy. I've never seen that protest in Mexico. I've never seen people protest their government with that energy. Protest the criminal organizations with that fucking energy. That energy in your country. I want to see it. Hopefully everyone's okay. You guys have a good week.
If I see one more video that says you should take American flags to the protest and not Mexican flags, you have to control the optics. First of all, that's fucking stupid. The fact that you even think that waving American flags at a protest that specifically has to do with fighting ICE raids, you think that seeing a bunch of brown people waving the American flag is somehow going to control the optics and sway racist conservatives in this country who want us out of here no matter what? You think that we have to somehow appease to the people who are trying to deport American citizens and repeal birthright citizenship? You think that carrying an American flag is going to change their mind somehow? They don't care whether you're waving an American flag or a Mexican flag or a freaking Nazi flag or a Confederate flag. The point is, they don't want us here. But let's say we entertain the idea of taking American flags to these protests. I think, and I vote for and propose, the people who should be taking American flags to these protests are veterans. Where are the U.S. veterans who are standing up against Trump? Where are the U.S. veterans who are trying to protect us? You want to talk about optics? Let's do that. Let's put American veterans who are on our side and are standing up against Trump and see that calling in the National Guard and Marines to attack its own citizens are the very same vets who are trying to stand up against this. They should be on the front lines with American flags, showing any type of clothing or attire that shows that they are U.S. veterans. Let the cops and Marines attack them first. Let's see how that goes. Let the media show that Marine Corps and the National Guardsmen are the ones who are attacking their own brethren, waving American flags. That's what I propose.
If you can watch ICE raid an elementary school, if you can listen to the screams of mothers as they're being torn away from their kids, I really don't know what to tell you. This is past politics at this point, people. I don't care what religion, what political view, I don't care. If you can see what's going on in LA, and honestly, if you're so for the people and you're so American, I would think you'd be alarmed by the clear violation of our constitutional right to protest that is being done in LA right now. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, even if you don't care about people at all and you have no heart inside of you, at least your brain could tell you that something isn't right about what's going on. I'm literally coming to y'all with my hair a mess. Like, I had to say this because I'm so sick of people commenting and saying that it's not my fight and it's about black or Hispanic or white. It's not about any of that. It's a heart problem. It's so simple. I don't want to hear that anymore. And for the people that are really sitting here talking about it's not our fight because we're black, do you know how many black people are being deported? Like, please just wake up. It's really just too much at this point. At the end of the day, these are human lives. These are people. These are mothers and fathers and kids. What is wrong with you people? I'm so disgusted. And you know what's worse? You know what is worse about all this? It's literally all a distraction. It's a distraction to keep people divided. And that's the craziest part. I watched this documentary called Out of the Shadows. I think it was called that. I can't find it on any platform anymore. It's like anytime I mention it or put like a screen recording on here, it gets like the video gets removed. There's so much in that documentary that shows how much they purposely distract us from what's really important. Like, there's a clip on that documentary where they put news anchors side by side for the last 50 years talking, and they've all used the same exact verbiage. The media is put out there to keep you distracted, to keep you stressed and scared and depressed. Everything in the book. These things are publicized in a certain way to keep people on the left or keep people on the right, to prevent us from banding together and fighting for what is right. So the next time that you sit here in my comments talking about it's not my fight, it will always be my fight. When I see injustice, when I see evil, it will always be my fight. It will always be my responsibility to speak up. And if you have a platform, if you have any kind of voice at all, and you aren't speaking up for what's happening in Gaza, you're not speaking up for what's happening right here in the United States, then I'm disgusted by you, especially if you call yourself a follower of Jesus Christ, because I promise you, he does not approve. Like, when did a piece of paper become so important that people are willing to watch others lose everything, to watch others suffer? Like, y'all really don't care, and it's insane. And this is why the Bible literally says, in the end, the love of many will wax cold, because cold ain't even the word at this point. Cold is not even the word. You know, it really just bothers me that people are so lost in their political views that they cannot see what's right in front of them. They can't see a person in need, someone that needs help, a child that needs help. Like, what is this world coming to at this point? Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. And y'all wonder why I keep my head in my Bible and I stick up for what's right no matter what. Because they don't care about us. They don't care about any of us. So wake up.
I don't have a huge following, but I still feel a responsibility to say something. I lived in LA for 4 years now, and what's happening with the ICE raids, the fear, the silence, especially from those within the Asian American community, has been really weighing heavily on my heart. I grew up in Queens, New York, around large Latino and Hispanic communities, and I've witnessed firsthand how deeply connected our communities are. A lot of Asian-owned businesses often rely on the labor of undocumented workers, often quietly, without any acknowledgement. And now, when the same people are being targeted, the silence is loud. It's painful. We come from immigrant families. We know what fear looks like, and we know what sacrifice looks like. And yet so many of us turn a blind eye when others are being targeted for the very reasons we're here. To those who are affected, I don't know what to say. I am truly sorry. You deserve to feel safe and you deserve to be seen. And to influencers, this moment calls for more than just posts about hidden gems in LA and food spots. If we love the city and its people, we need to show up for them too. If you have the privilege to post about where to shop in LA, then you have the power to say this isn't right. That is not political, that is just being human. I am not trying to call people out just to create noise. I am saying this because I care. This isn't about blame, it's about showing up. Speaking up doesn't require a perfect statement. It's honestly just about heart and showing compassion. And if you have a platform, even a small one like mine, it does matter. Be the voice for those who can't. Okay, bye.
You know how many immigrants have affected my life? None. Latinos, they voted for Trump. I have a serious question for y'all. Why? Why would you side with a group of people that hate people that look like you and sound like you? And no matter how much you try to assimilate, you're never going to be them. No matter how light-skinned you get, you're not going to be them. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, oh, it was the economy. I am making more now than I was when he first came into office, and I'm still not doing better. Actually, I was doing better the last 4 years. Things actually started to get better. Now it's going right back down again. That's another topic. Don't say it's the taxes. Don't say it was, Joe Biden's taxes, because we're under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. You want to see who created the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that started in 2017? Yeah, there we go. You read that right. You know when that expires? 2025. So you've been under it. And he just renewed it and just gave the rich people more of a tax cut. But y'all knew that already, right? Is it that you think you're better than others? Do you think you're better than other Latinos because of your status? Because your American status? Especially if you come from countries like Cuba, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Venezuela, Argentina, any of those countries. If you think you're better than other Latinos because you have American status, that's crazy. Because I'm Puerto Rican. I am an American citizen regardless. I can't get deported. If they send me to Puerto Rico, it's like I'm going on vacation. But the rest of y'all that are looking down on other Latinos because of your status, shame on y'all. Seriously, shame on you. It's got to be a self-hatred of yourself or your people that you're looking down on others. Oh, well, I came here the right way. You know what? Everyone can't do it the right way. Everyone's circumstances are different. And you know what? There are people out there that are doing it the right way and they're getting shitted on. And instead of you helping them get more help to fix their status, you're trying to get them kicked out. That you should be ashamed of. So once again, Latinos that voted for Trump, why did you vote for Donald Trump?
So I live in Los Angeles, and the ICE raids have been going on the last few days. And I just wanted to call out some of the Filipinos online that are acting high and fucking mighty about it. As someone who is Filipino, who is an immigrant, who's gone through the whole legal process of becoming an American citizen, it took me about 10, 11 years to get my citizenship, my American citizenship. And it took thousands of dollars in order to do it. And it was such a strict process. So I get it. It's tedious and long and hard, but it doesn't give you the right to criticize people. So don't tell me you don't know a tita or a tito who has overstayed their visa, worked here for years, undocumented, just to provide for their family back in the Philippines. So who wants to live in a foreign country for 20 and 30 years, miss their kids growing up, undocumented, but also paying taxes? Oh, and the lack of papers doesn't give anyone the grounds to separate families from their children and not have the right to due process.
I live in Los Angeles. I'm downtown right now with my partner, and we drove by where the protest is. And I just want to put this out there for anybody unsure of what's going on or who has been seeing videos. The protesters are very peaceful. The cops are not overwhelmed. There's no need for any National Guard or military to be here. I'll insert a video of the cops right now. It's peaceful. The cops are not overwhelmed, and we did see a fleet of like 50 ICE vehicles. None of them were marked. Every person inside the vehicle was like masked. We happened to make eye contact with one, and there was a lot of anger and scary aggression in their eyes. I don't know, they're all headed to start a problem, I'm assuming. But as far as the protesters, it's small and it's peaceful, and that's an important message to keep spreading, because it's right now it's like media warfare, and they want it to look as if the people are the aggressors, and that's just not the case. just an update from Los Angeles.
Folks do know that Mexicans, Hispanics, and Latinos are not the only immigrants in the United States of America. For all the black folks out there, real quick, y'all do realize folks from the Caribbean are considered immigrants. Folks from the continent of Africa are considered immigrants. So when you say as black folks, this is not our fight, or you're sitting it out because they voted for this, who is the they? Because people from Latin American countries are not the only people that are getting kidnapped by ICE. And folks being deported are not citizens and therefore cannot vote. The biggest content creator on this app was detained by ICE. He is not Latino or Hispanic. He is black and actually has European citizenship, from Italy to be specific. So where's the line? Because y'all do know Shirley Chisholm, both her parents are from the Caribbean. Marcus Garvey, Jamaica. Malcolm X's mother is from Grenada. And that's not a state in the South. And for everyone still talking about the election, but somehow anti-immigrant and immigration, y'all do know Kamala Harris's parents are immigrants.
So if you're a white person and you support Latinos, if you agree that's what's happening in LA by the federal administration is terrible, if you agree that people that should not be villainized are being villainized and treated unfairly and inhumanely, you have to let us know that you're on our side. You have to let us know that you support us. Maybe you think that we inherently think you already do, but we don't know. I live in Indiana, Northeast Indiana, and there's a lot of white people here. It is very clearly the majority. And we're a red state. We voted for Trump this time. We voted for Trump the last time. I'm pretty sure every time Trump got the vote from the state of Indiana. And you just never know who supports what this administration is doing. You just don't know. From your coworkers to the people that you worship with, to the people that you see in the streets, we don't know whether you're someone who supports what's going on right now or if you stand with us. So I can tell you that right now a lot of people are scared. A lot of Latinos are scared. I'm scared. My wife is scared because anytime we go out, anytime we do something, you don't know who you're sitting next to. You don't know who supports you and who doesn't. My wife is even in the point where she doesn't always feel comfortable speaking Spanish, her native language, with me out in public because you just don't ever know. So if you are a white person and you stand with us, and regardless of how many issues we feel there are in the immigration system, because there are plenty, and yes, we need to reform, and yes, there's a lot of work we need to do, but this is not it. This has nothing to do with that. This is this administration trying to take over and override due process, override state rights, and just take total control over everything the way he wants to, and making us look like we're the villains, which we're not. So please just know that if you support us, if you work with Latinos, if you go to church with Latinos, if you see Latinos out and about, like just let us know that there's love there, because right now we're suspicious of everyone and we're scared, and we feel more and more isolated every day because of what's happening. So don't assume that people know what side you're on. Make it clear, make it loud. Denounce what's going on social media. Let people know how you feel. And when other white people that you know that are in your circle support this, educate them. Let them know what the reality is. Let them know that what they're thinking is not it, because oftentimes us trying to change the minds of those that are different than us is a lot harder, but maybe they'll listen to you. So get educated on this, learn the reality, learn the stats, learn what's going on, and talk to the people in your circle, talk to your family members, let them know that the things that they're being told about us are not true.
If you're a Donald Trump supporter, don't watch my content. If you're a MAGA supporter, you don't have to watch my content. Any person on TikTok that I'm mutuals with who don't speak out about this humanitarian crisis that they're calling immigration raids in America, go in and unfollow me, because I'm going to block all of you. You make content every day. A lot of you are immigrants. You don't speak about what you see happening in society. I don't care if you have a brand to protect or a brand deal or whatever. Human being lives are more important than brand deals and your little shit TikTok account that you're trying so hard to protect. I'll be unfollowing you guys and blocking you. You don't have to watch my content. We don't have to be mutuals. I'm telling you now. I like to warn people. I'm telling you now. If you're not speaking out about this bullshit that MAGA is doing, I'm telling you, I want nothing to do with you. You understand? A lot of you seem to play a blind eye to what's going on. You watch these shit on TikTok every day. You skip past it and go ahead and make content about what you're promoting, your brand deals and your little bullshit and funny videos and this. Specifically, those who live in America. I'm going to unfollow you and I'll be blocking you. You don't have to watch my content. I'm a human being first. Okay? Look what's happening in California, Los Angeles. See, what happened is they thought it would be a Florida spin. They should know better than that. Los Angeles and Florida is two different places. They're chasing down people like wild animals. If these guys were chasing after the dangerous criminals as they said they would, no one would give a shit about what they're doing. They're chasing down everyday working people, going to work, ripping families apart, people who are actually being processed by immigration. My heart goes out to these people. I don't care what their vote was. They were deceived. That's the bottom line. Okay, they were deceived by a government. That's terrible. Right? And now they're being hunted like animals. I don't care if they're Black, Latino, because that seems to be the only group of people that's being chased around. And there's a lot of other people who are illegal in America other than people of color. I don't see them being chased around in America. What pisses me off mostly are the people who create content. I don't care if you have 10 followers. You have a voice. A lot of you are immigrants or the descendants of immigrants in this country, second, third generation, and you sit quiet about this bullshit that you see happening in the United States. I want nothing to do with you because it shows me exactly where you are. You understand? A lot of you were in that situation. If not you, your parents or your grandparents came to the United States as immigrants, didn't have a green card, wasn't a U.S. citizen, and they had to fight their way to get through it so you now could be comfortably and be born here as a citizen. So it doesn't affect your life. It doesn't bother you. So you don't have a problem with it. You keep your mouth shut and sit back and lean back. You understand? I'm telling you, MAGA supporters, I have more respect for the toilet tissue that I used to wipe my ass and flush than I do you. That's what the regards I hold you in. You're not worth the spit that I put on the ground. You're lower than the dirt on the bottom of my shoes. That's how I look at MAGA supporters. You're trash people. Big trash people. Especially you MAGA supporters who are people of color. And come talk about, oh, I don't want to support MAGA no more. I don't want to support MAGA no more because the big beautiful bill. Big beautiful bill, look what they're doing to human beings, people. Where are the criminals that they promised that they were going to get? Where are they? They're not doing that. They're chasing down everyday working Americans who are in the pipeline to get their permits, their green cards. A lot of you were in that situation once upon a time. If not you, your grandparents were. And you're on this app trying to make money, trying to protect you and yours, and keep your mouth shut. I'm going to look for each one of you that I'm mutuals with, and I'm going to unfollow you today. I haven't seen you posted one video in regards to what the Trump administration is doing in this country, which is blatantly wrong. It's not funny. It is not funny. You understand? And they said, oh, we're going to call out the National Guards. The National Guards are loyal to the United States, not to MAGA. Okay? So get that here. Peace.